Okay. Nikola Tesla was incredibly fond of giving interviews to basically anybody. And I'm going to read to you a passage from a lost interview given by Nikola Tesla to Massey and Mr. Underhill in 1908, 108 years ago. Now, people have incredible interest these days, far, far more so than they did, back when I was younger in 20s and 30s. And the problem with all the endless obscure interviews that Nikola Tesla gave is that he gave interviews to basically anybody that was willing to listen. And this would be akin to a huge corporate giant giving an interview to, some peon from college. And would be the case over 100 years. Some of these interviews, and he gave a lot of them, are lost to the winds of time. So let me show you something amazing from 108 years ago, where Nikola Tesla predicted the smartphone. He predicted global positioning satellites to an amazing accuracy. Okay, so let me read from a text from this interview, this very, very tiny, obscure interview recently uncovered from Nikola Tesla. And this is him speaking. As soon as completed, it will be possible for a businessman in New York to dictate instructions and have them instantly appear in type at his work office in London or elsewhere. He will be able to call up from his desk and talk to any telephone subscriber on the globe without any change whatever in the existing equipment. An inexpensive little instrument, no bigger than a watch. This would be like an Apple Watch right now, correct? Will enable its bearer to hear anywhere on sea or land music or song, the speech of political leaders, the addresses of eminent men of science, and so forth, or the sermons of an eloquent clergyman delivered in some other place, however distant across the globe. In the same manner, any pictures or characters or drawings or print can be transferred from one place to the other as this little device. Millions of such little instruments can be operated but from one plant of this kind. Now, this would be a modern day server. Isn't this fascinating? Tesla goes on. More important than all of this, however, will be the transmission of power without wires, which will be shown on a scale large enough to carry conviction. These few indications will be sufficient to show that wireless art offers great possibilities, more so than any invention or discovery heretofore made. And if conditions are favorable, we can expect with certitude that in the next few years, wonders like this will be wrought with its application. 100% accurate from Nikola Tesla. Now let's go on in this same obscure lost interview where Nikola Tesla predicts global positioning satellite systems. This is 1908, mind you. It is difficult for laymen to grasp how an electrical current can be propagated to distances of thousands of miles without diminution of intention. But it's simple after all. Distance is only a relative conception, a reflection in the mind of physical limitations. He's basically saying the limitation only exists in the minds of fools. This is basically what he's saying, except in a much nicer manner. A view of electrical phenomena must be free of this delusive impression. However surprising is the fact that a sphere of the size of a little marble offers greater impediment to the passage of current than the entire earth does. Every experiment which can be formed with such a small sphere can likewise be carried out much more perfectly with over the entire immense globe which we live. This is not merely a theory, but a truth, established in numerous careful conducted experiments. When the earth is struck mechanically, for example, it is a case in some powerful terrestrial upheaval, like an earthquake, he means. The earth vibrates like a bell. And he goes on to talk about its period. The period of the vibration, the cycles, which is 12 cycles per second. Owing to this fact, the spheroidal shape of the Earth, numerous geodetical and other data instruments, very accurate and of the greatest scientific and practical value, can readily be secured. He's talking about tossing up satellites into space. Through the observation of these astonishing phenomena, we shall soon be able to determine the exact distances and configurations, the extent of which depressions, and it goes on, in the densest fog or the darkest of night, without a compass, or other instruments or orientation or even a timepiece, it will be possible to guide a vessel along the shortest or orthotic path to instantly read the latitude and longitude, the hour, the distance from any point, and the true speed and direction and elevation. This is exactly what a global positioning satellite system does. By proper use of such disturbances, a wave may be made to travel over the Earth's surface without any velocity, with any velocity desired. An electrical effect produced at any spot can be selected at will, and the exact geographical position of which can be closely ascertained from simplex rules of trigonometry. Well, this is exactly how global positioning satellites work. Broadcast differential, calculating the time lag between the countless, I think there's like 54 currently, GPS satellites. The receivers actually take that data and they calculate it, and they tell you not only your exact longitude and latitude, but your direct elevation. This is exactly what global positioning system is. So here we have Nikola Tesla in a lost interview from 1908 given to Massey and Mr. Underhill 108 years ago, back when you would have seen horses and buggies still trolling down the streets, obviously so. The washing machine would have been a piece of a corrugated tin that mom and pop would have dragged down to the. We're talking about 1908 here, for God's sakes. Yes, this, sir, is Nikola Tesla. This is the guy that invented in the entire modern world, invented the motor that we all live upon. And there are not that many people who know Nikola Tesla's name. I mean, you go out of the streets, you ask the common idiot, who's Nikola Tesla? I don't know. I never heard of the guy. You ask him who this moron on the right is. Oh, they all know who he is. By the way, this guy on the right, his name literally means one stone, which is German slang meaning idiot. Nikola Tesla had a great disdain for Albert Einstein. Not because of his fame, because Nikola Tesla didn't give a damn about his fame. Nikola Tesla said of Einstein, "Einstein is a beggar dressed in purple clothes and made king using dazzling mathematics that obscure the truth." He said of Einstein, "Scientists from Franklin to Morse were clear thinkers and did not produce such erroneous theories." Nikola Tesla said of Einstein and relativity, "The theory of relativity is a mass of errors, of deceptions, ideas violently opposed to the teachings of great men of science and of the past, and even to common sense." "Too bad, Sir Isaac," meaning Isaac Newton. "They dimmed your renown and turned your great science upside down," Tesla says. This is a poem written by Tesla. "Now, a long-haired crank, Einstein by name, puts your high teachings all the blame. He says matter and force are transmutable, and wrong the laws you thought immutable. I am much too ignorant, my son, for grasping such crazy schemes so finely spun," meaning that Einstein was just a fuzzy-haired crackpot lunatic. Nikola Tesla was a very, very gentle and kind person. I mean, in summation, what Nikola Tesla said was that Einstein was a fuzzy-haired lunatic crackpot who reified space and time as things that did things, and he said that was an absolute absurdity. He denounced the notion of curved space and the notion that space and time, which are nothing other than measures, could do something. It's as absurd as reifying a shadow, and a shadow is not anything. Tesla thought that space and time, and he was correct, and this is exactly how the ancient Indians and Greeks viewed time and space, that space and time were nothing more than a shadow. And a shadow is not something in and of itself. It is the absence of light. And it is ridiculous as thinking that someone in the dark trips across a piece of rope and they think it's a snake, and they have a heart attack because they get scared. They think a snake. This is an old ancient Indian philosophical thought puzzle. How something that doesn't exist could actually cause something. And, getting to that is very difficult. But anyway, this is Nikola Tesla from 1908, 108 years ago, with absolute specific certainty, predicts global positioning satellites, smartphones, incredible. Nikola Tesla, folks. This is the guy that your modern world runs on. Not this moron on the right, because this moron on the right did not invent the stuff that you use. The guy on the left, who is very meek and very kind and very humble, he didn't give a damn about fame and all the rest of that crap. This is the guy that invented the modern world. This is the guy that actually was intelligent and wise. The guy on the right was an idiot. He was an idiot. Something else, too. Let's state the fact here. Sir Albert Einstein certainly was not the inventor of the premise of the atomic bomb. Nikola Tesla invented much upon which the modern world operates and wanted to help improve the world. He died broke and penniless, whereas the idiot Albert Einstein eagerly helped in the construction of the atomic bomb. So the only thing that actually Albert Einstein did or contribute to the world was help create the world's most destructive device. So you've got a peace-loving, gentle person on the left here, Nikola Tesla, and on the right we basically have Darth Vader, this pathetic scumbag who was the only time he actually did do something was help and assist in the mathematics of the creation of the atomic bomb to help destroy the world. So the guy on the left wanted to help the world, and the guy on the right, the only thing he ever did was try and did help to destroy the world. So this is media manipulation at its finest. It's not a conspiracy theory, because I don't like conspiracy theories. It's an absolute damn fact, and it's irrefutable. Whether you admit it or not is your own mental defect. You could either understand it or you could deny it. You can choose to understand things or you could choose to stick your head in the sand. But these are the facts. So I was glad to bring you this lost fragment of Nikola Tesla predicting global positioning satellites and smartphones from 108 years ago in 1908. What a man. There you go. And most people don't know who he is, but most people know this idiot on the right. That tells you a lot about the modern world, doesn't it? Lux e veritas. Thank you for listening.